Okay now, so it has been a little while, but I've got another handful of albums I've bought since my last video. I'm going to start off with the new ones. New Dragon Force album, Maximum Overload. It's really epic and it actually has to be my favourite album of the year. Yeah, like it's got some great songs like the opening, The Game, which is the first song on the album. There's other great songs like No More, Free Hammers, being one of my favourite songs. I think my favourite song would have to be The Sun Is Dead. And then there's also Defenders, and the epic City of Gold, and the Johnny Cash cover, Ring of Fire. It's got some bonus tracks like the ones I like out of them is Power and Glory and You're Not Alone. Also the Galactic Astro Domination as well, which was a it was originally used as a promo for a phone advert back early last year, and there's also a DVD making of the album and them performing Cry Thunder live at Loud Park from 2012. And so there you have it. Maximum Overload, my favourite album of 2014. Here we have the Opeth album, Pale Communion, and it's got some great songs. And this is their third album, which they've done using the term progressive. And I'll have to say, my favourite songs in this one would have to be Eternal Rains Will Come, River, and Voice of Treason. And they also got a couple of covers. One I like is Black Sabbath Solitude. Unfortunately, I can't pronounce this one band. I can't pronounce it. So please excuse me for that. So, right here I have Avantasia, their last album. I've now started getting their albums, and this was the last album they released last year, with fronted by Tobias Sammet of Edguy. Got a load of guests on there playing the instruments. Like this one, they have Jolyn Turner on some songs and Biff Byford, and they also have Argent Lucassen. You probably know him of Arion, I think is how you pronounce it. And also Cloudy Yang sings on Sleepwalking. Like, I think my favourite songs on this one would have to be The Watchmaker's Dream and Invoke the Machine. They're all great songs. And this one here is Angel of Babylon. This is actually the last in the Wicked trilogy. I had the other two albums I had before this one was The Scarecrow, which they released 1 year, and 2 years later they released the Wicked Symphony, and at the same time as this album, Angel of Babylon. So I do want to find the other two of it as well, and as long as also the first two metal opera albums they had. So yeah, this one has guests including Your Land Day. He was on most of the songs on the Wicked trilogy on those 3 particular albums, The Scarecrow, Wicked Symphony, and Angel of Babylon here. And this one's also got Russell Allen as well, and it also has Cloudy Young as well. I think this is maybe an okay album here, but yeah, I didn't find it as memorable as the other stuff I've heard so far. But yeah, Stargaze is a great song. Definitely love that one, and the title track Angel of Babylon, that one's great too. So. Up here we've got Epica, Requiem for the Indifferent. This is actually, I have to say, a great album, and this was their last album they released. So got some great songs like Monopoly on Truth, Storm Sorrow, Internal Warfare. Yeah. And next one, like here, I've got this Sonata Arctica's The Days of Grays, and so I now have 3 albums from them. So, like, they had a song called Everything Fades to Grey, as an instrumental as the opening, and then they have the full version of the song as the last song. So, first one's instrumental, last one is the actual normally structured song, as you would all know it as. And my favourite songs on here would have to be Death Aura, and then Last Amazing Grays, Flag in the Ground, Zeros, and As If the World Wasn't Ending, and the full version of Everything Fades to Grey. So, which is, I think that's an epic closure to the album as well. Here we have Iced Earth, Framing Armageddon. Now I've both. So now, as you can see, I now have both albums which they did with Tim Ripper Owens, also formerly of Judas Priest, before he was in this band. And yeah, some months after this album was released, their other former vocalist Matt Barlow rejoined the band for the album that came after this one, The Crucible of Manson. This one is Framing Armageddon, so yeah, this one's got some great songs, like you've got Something Wicked Part 1, and then there's Session Massacre, 10,000 Strong. That's one of my favourites on this album, and Cataclysm, that's just one of those. We have like these segues in between songs, like Invasion, like there's Cataclysm. Yeah, I like the clouding, and yeah, Infiltrate, Assimilate. Right, I think the main closure for this album is When the Stars Collide, Born as He, and then we've got The Awakening, which is actually the closer to this album, which basically continues on the next album, which comes after this. So, of The Crucible of Man. So, I want to find that album as well. So that's now 4 albums owned from Iced Earth. So both albums with Tim Ripper Owens, and both albums with their current singer Stu Block, also formerly of Into Eternity. And last, what I have to show you today is Ed Guy's Rocket Ride. So I now have half their catalogue. That's 5 albums I now have from them. Like, I know this album is a fan favourite. So we have songs like Sacrifice, Rocket Ride, Wasted Time, Matrix. You know, you've got some great songs. Like, yeah, my favourites would have to be Sacrifice, Rocket Ride, yeah, Matrix, the Superheroes, Trinidad, and yeah, I pretty much love this whole album. So I want to focus on getting I want to focus on trying to get the rest of the Ed Guy albums, and I want to get the other Avantasia albums, which I mentioned as well, because I think Avantasia is a brilliant power metal opera put together by Mr. Tobias Sammet. So that's 2 Avantasia albums, as I'd shown you in this video. So I have 4 left of them to get. So I also heard Tobias in an interview saying he would that would certainly be a sequel to their last album, The Mystery of Time. So I can't wait to hear more of that. And yes, and I also need to get a few more new releases. Like there's the new Hammerfall, and there's also new In Flames and Darkest Hour. I'm thinking of getting those 2 ones. But yeah, I really want to get the new Hammerfall album, Revolution. So that will be my next band I'm going for. And I'm also planning on getting the Serenia albums as well. So that'll be coming very soon. So till then, take care. See you next time.